your relationship, your sometimes
All
even
of
your
that.
home. You know, a lot of, and the swinging people typically even refer to their rendezvous as dates. They actually still call it a date. So as you're developing a relationship with these ongoing thing that you're doing, it's really easy to start tripping over. That's why we call it a spectrum between polyamory and swinging.
So
You're blurring that line. You're kind of coming over to this side of things.
Well, so having not been in the swinging lifestyle, where does swinging and swinging with feelings to polyamory kick in? Like, I mean, is it just whenever you meet somebody, it's like, oh, this is, and then what do you do at that point? If you do start developing, like, really, like, close feelings or love with somebody you're swinging with, and how do you even bring that up to a partner? Is that kind of what happened with you?
That's kind of what happened. And in fact, that's why when we all started dating, in this particular polycule, I was telling Jay that I wanted a family. I wanted to find people that I could move in with, that would move in with me, that we would combine expenses, combine parenting, combine all of those things, because to me that was always where it would end previously. It was like, we really like you, we're starting to have more feelings than like, this is more than friendship, and there's where it stops. You love these people, but you haven't moved in. You love these people, but you live separately. You have your own separate issues. You have your own separate problems. You have your own separate things.
And you wanted to join.
And it always felt like that's such a barrier. If you really love these people or this person, that's such a thing of like, yeah, but now you have to send them home. Or now you have to go home. It's a little weird. You go on these amazing dates and it's 2 a.m. and you're high on life, and then it's like, oh, well, gotta go home. Yeah.
You kind of wanted to continue.
And you just don't want to stop. And so you make dates that are overnight dates and things like that. And you do that, and then it's still one of those things of, okay, I got up, I took a shower, I had breakfast, and now I'm going to go to work. And then instead of going back to them, you go home. And there's always going to be that feeling of, but this is where I want to be.
But a lot of people live polyamory that way.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that seems to be the norm more so than what we have done.
Mm-hmm.
What we've done would be defined as a nuclear family unit.
Right.
And what they're doing is living separately, but they're still poly.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very valid relationship either way. And it's like we always said, however it works for you is the right way to do it.
Yeah, whatever works for you and whatever works for your partners, that is the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're committed to each other, even though they live in separate houses, they're still, that's not swinging.
No.
It's polyamory comes with a commitment and a romantic attachment. And I believe swinging is more so just a sexual, casual interaction.
And there's the funny thing is with swinging, it gets like that. You have these deep abiding friendships. If it stops there, sure, that's swinging. But I think a lot of people that call themselves swingers, who only and exclusively swing with this couple or this particular group.
Swinging with feelings.
Right, they're swinging with feelings. And it's kind of like, at what point, they love this person, they love that person, they love these people. At what point is that not polyamory?
Well, I mean, I guess it goes back to fitting in the box. You know, if the love outside the box type of thing is that we really can't define what it is, and that's okay. Right. And if you want to call it swinging, hey, more power to you. If it's working for you, go for it.
That's the way.
And if it's not working for you, do something different. A lot of people think that when people are swinging or when people are getting into poly relationships, they're not happy with their primary partner or their partner in general. And that's not always the case. Now, yeah, you're going to have that sometimes.
Oh, sure.
And that's up to you if you want to venture into that. But fair warning that if you're having problems in your relationship and you venture into that lifestyle, you're going to have more problems.
Just like having a baby saves relationships. Right?
I've actually had people come to me and ask me about being poly and what it entailed, or even swinging, because they considered, I guess, what we did in our developing years more so swinging than being poly. But they came to me and asked me my thoughts and how to go about it, and I told them, don't. It's what you're doing is not, you're not happy. You're trying to escape your relationship. Don't do it. It's going to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they
And
were already having problems in their relationship.
they were already having so many problems and on the edge of divorce. And they decided to do it anyway, you know,
And
because
guess
most
what
people
happened?
who ask your advice
Oh,
never
yeah.
want to actually freaking listen to it.
And they actually did have more problems.
Oh, yeah.
Typically when people are asking for advice, they already know what they want to do. They just want to hear
Yeah.
you say it.
And I don't. I don't give people what they want. I give them what they need to hear. And, you know, a lot of times they don't actually listen.
So
But,
that's
you
the
know,
thing is polyamory will not heal the damage in your relationship.
No.
It will not fix a
It
damaged
actually-
person.
It actually violently brings it to the surface.
Absolutely, because you cannot help but communicate. That's why we posted on our Facebook. If you're not into open communication and you're in a poly relationship, you're gonna have a bad time.
So in essence, basically, you know, there are terms and definitions that you can use to define who and what you are, but if we're keeping it real, love, romance, sex is complicated because we're complicated creatures.
I'm not
And
complicated.
Anyway, and so while we can use them to our advantage to help us kind of narrow down our searches or relate to other people who identify in the same ways that we are, they also kind of hinder us in a way because it puts us in a box that maybe we eventually outgrow. You know, maybe you're a swinger and you find yourself falling in love with this person. It's up to you whether you decide that that's an opportunity for growth and change or if you're going to put an end to that. I guess it would be up to you and your partner, really. You know, you have to really sit down and think about how these terms fit you and how you fit into them and if they apply. You don't have to use any terms at all. It does help, though, to identify and just communicate and find community and just get out there and
Live.
Get out there and live your best life.
Yeah.
Right.
The way Jay is always telling people to do. Get out there and live your best life.
Yeah, be you. Live it, love it, and do what you can.
Live your beautiful, authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Be you. Well, folks,
Unless that's a mass murder, then don't do that.
then don't do that. No.
That's
Yeah,
not
don't do that.
beautiful.
Or
No,
if you
no.
can be
That's
Batman.
horrible.
If you can be Batman, be Batman.
Yes,
Only
I'll-
Batman can be Batman. I could be Batmom.
You can be Batman.
You are Batman.
I am Batmom.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you again the next time. And remember, from us at Polysaturated, keeping it polyamorous means keeping it polyreal.
I'd like to give a shout out to Tiffany, Daisy, and Stephanie, who left us some really nice comments on Facebook.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
You're awesome.
Sweet beans.
I can confer they are very sweet beans.
You can find us on the web at poly-saturated.com, on Twitter at poly_saturated. We are on iTunes as well as many other podcatchers. If you would like to hear someone your favorite, just let us know and we'll see what we can do to get on there.